Welcome. My name is Penelope Chatterton. Welcome to Awaken the Dream, and happy Easter to you all. It's by no accident that the show couldn't happen a few weeks ago because of weather, health, whatever. It happened, and today is like, I'm going to call it Easter Tuesday because Sunday was Easter, Monday was Monday Easter, and I just want to give thanks to Liz Parker. Number one, I do not want to forget her introduction to the infinite way, which is so helpful to weave you through all that material. And then we have Acropolis Books. They are heirs to all of Joel's work, so go there if you need study guides, you name it, it is there. And of course, Tim Riley, my patient friend who puts up with me every time I come, and we have good chuckles, especially about pets, my love. But anyway, we're going to talk about the resurrection today, and the name of this show truly is called The Mystical Eye. It's a continuation of my last program, and I'm thrilled to talk about the resurrection today and to give thanks for Jesus Christ, for Joel Goldsmith, for Mary Baker Eddy, for all the mystics that have been in this-dimension. And there are so many that weren't famous, but they did their work. They were quiet, but they grew themselves from their work. And that's what I do here when I repeat one of Joel's lectures. This was to his 1958 Chicago class. It's very intimate. He really is trying to help this group to find their grace, the grace within them, and understand the unfolding consciousness that we all are, the reincarnation that we all experience. So let me get started, and I'll just hope I can weave it as well as I can. When Joel talks about reincarnation, I kind of chuckle. He knows that we were born whole, complete, and perfect. We were never born, we never die. That's part of the infinite way experience of being within with grace. God is our sufficiency in all things. He's our buddy. We commune with the source within us. We are whole because God is with us and we are one with that source. So in many ways, God is working through our individual expressions. And I must tell you, I'm always blown away by the fact that what a creator to have all of us so different, with different incarnations, with different messages, with different reasons to be here to grow. So I even chuckled when he mentioned being a baby and then reincarnating to being a teenager and then middle age and then old. It's almost as if we're reincarnating in one incarnation and noticing that our bodies change, we grow, we do new things. It's kind of fascinating, but the fact that we're individual expressions blows my mind. And why I'm here doing this, I'll tell you. First of all, he makes it very clear. You know, we could have been cavemen or women. We could have been slaves in Egypt. We could have had many incarnations. We could have been very physical. We could have been very mental. And we're trying to be spiritual. And so the infinite way is definitely talking to a class. And Joel will say, why are you here in the spiritual class when other people have no idea of the spiritual nature of humanhood or spiritualhood? Because humanhood is what we have fallen for. Yes, we have fallen for that particular element of humanhood. Humanhood deals with fear. It deals with no power. It has no energy. Look at politics today. It has no power. I'm noticing as I grow and change, what a blessing that TV is leaving me, and I'm spending more time in meditation because it's so comfortable and it's so sweet. But humanhood is what we're wrestling to overcome. And by that wrestling, it's almost like the lessons we had as kids when we thought, gee, I'm the way I am because I had such a horrible background or my parents didn't treat me right. As Joel said, the psychologists really didn't know what they were talking about because those were gifts. Can you imagine that? Having a rough time and growing, we need the obstacles that we have accepted and created ourselves. We've walked into our own humanhood. We sit in it, and our job with the infinite way is to chip away at how do we become the inner voice? How do we just hear the still small voice? How do we ever learn to hear the hunches, the way that's given to us when we meditate? So the infinite way really takes us to an inner life, a world of quiet, where we sit and we commune, we listen. We don't bring war stories with us. We don't ask for anything. If we were in the human world, we'd be asking for money. We'd be asking for relationships, for homes, for money. Money's a big thing. Even Joel said, let's put the checkbook on the table. Let's forget about that. That is limiting. If we limit ourselves with human thinking about what we were trained when we moved into this dimension to want and to crave and to think that was the way we were to go, he'll explain why. The heavenly riches cannot be reached until you let go of all of the things you think you have to have. The money, the houses, the relationships, mostly money. But when you let go of that, the heavenly riches are different. The God within you, who created you, who is your buddy and your source and your best friend and connected to you, the Father and the Son are the same within you. They know what you need more than you do. They do. The heavenly riches should be a surprise to you. They could be better than anything you ever dreamed of if you can let go of your human desires. So let go of them we must. And the way to let go of them, honestly, is to understand the meaning of meditation, inner work, the meaning of grace. Thy grace is my sufficiency in all things. What does that mean? Thy grace is peace. Thy grace is going within. Thy grace is resting, communing if you need to communicate about your heart. What's in your heart? You've got a buddy who's listening, who knows what your favorite things are more than you do. I just love the fact that we are unfolding consciousness in this dimension, and heaven only knows where we've been. And here's another good point. Where are we going? Well, the good news is the work that we've done in every incarnation, being it slavery, maybe teaching a mental thing, maybe being an artist, a poet, a musician. If we're in the spiritual realm, we're here to learn to be with grace, to just rest in spirit, to accept guidance daily, and I mean moment to moment. That's a demand. That's discipline. But I think the more you see and feel that works, the more it works for you. You just do it because it's comfortable. You don't need to know what your day is supposed to look like. You need to rest in the presence and say, this is your day. Where are we going? What are we doing? Listen for the hunches. Listen for the feelings. I mean, those are directions for you, but they don't happen until you let go of what you think you should have and need. So let's think about something else. He said when you meditate, have you ever noticed animals? And don't get me started. I am ridiculous about cats and dogs. You name it. My parents were even more ridiculous than I am, but they are the love of my life. And Joel's. And he said, when you meditate, don't you notice how they come up and they sit next to you and they just know. They have souls. They know what you're doing. They know who you are, and they know how you love them. I can also say that Evie, who's a cockapoo, and Tamu and Sergio, the cats that I have helped my son with for 19 years, are getting old, and I love them dearly. So in honor of Mui and Sergio, I just need to say that I love them. And they've given me joy. They've given me so much love that there's nothing like it. So where do we find love in the human scene? We serve. We find a way. I mean, you could come in an artist. I mean, Joel says, I'm not a musician. I don't gravitate to that. He said, there are poets, there are ministers, there are teachers. There are people that come into this incarnation with so many things to do that are special. I mean, I had a musical prodigy husband who I lost very early, who came in a genius, a child prodigy, playing the organ in a church as a kid. I mean, it's interesting how you come in with gifts. You come in with what you just did, and you bring that with you. So that's the good news. When we leave here, all that we're learning this time around believe me, it's going with us to continue growing and changing and becoming more refined with the spiritual world. And heaven only knows where that will take us. I know I've had my out of body. I mean, I know the glimpse I've had from each of eternity, of which is within me, but I would, it's no wonder I do this, because that was such a weird thing to happen to me as a kid. I had a music teacher who was a mystic, and we never talked about it, but I just picked up on something, and before I knew it, I shot out of my body, just knowing her. And when I came back, it was like having a heart attack. I didn't know what that meant at the time, and now I certainly do. It's like it was too nice where I went. And coming back to this dimension, it's a tough one. The human scene, with all the hate and all the things that people pick on each other about, it's a pretty tough scene to be in, and it requires work. And then I did a lecture once on A Course in Miracles in Orleans when I was talking about my husband's death and the 2 babies I was left with, and this energy came swooping in from the other side. So we are heard. And I like the fact that for the first time I actually realized that, life goes on, of course. We all know we're eternal. We came before Abraham was. There's no birth, there's no death. Even to the end of the earth, we are kicking. And we have work to do to help change the world, to change the human world, to move consciousness up. We're all a part of a big soul. So when you look at your neighbor, love thy neighbor. Okay, if you ever needed a formula for the infinite way, it's love thy neighbor as thyself. Now think of all the people that don't like you, or you don't like, or whatever. We all have those in our past. Doesn't mean we have them now. But some people are jealous of you. Some people just avoid you. But the whole point of anybody in your life is they are you. They are your mirror. The way you perceive them, no matter what they look like, whether they know who they are, you are responsible for your own happiness. You must see the God within them. You must see them as a mirror of the God within you if you want that back. Now, if you want to betray somebody, then who are you betraying? Certainly not who you're looking at. You're betraying yourself. It's critical you know that. You can only hurt yourself with your vision. You have a right to happiness, and once you get that formula, you've got it. If I could almost sum up the infinite way, it would be simply love thy neighbor as thyself. You're looking in a mirror constantly. Constantly. That's your ticket to paradise, to freedom, to joy, to freedom. I love the word freedom. You're free from the human plane when you see your neighbor as divine. And a neighbor can just, it doesn't have to be your real neighbor, but just anybody in your life, especially who you think may not care for you. That's actually a teacher for you. I look at that. I have some folks that think I'm a little weird. And that's another secret. Be careful about who you talk to. But just know they come into your life as teachers for you to understand that they need the love that you can give them. So teaching. Teaching means you learn what you teach. As I said, you can be a musician. You can be a minister this time around. You can be Pope Francis. You can be Mary Baker Eddy. Everyone comes in with something special to do. Now look at Joel Goldsmith. My God. I mean, he's global. I mean, his message, when I think he was born in the late 1800s, where he has come between Christian Science and not organizing church and hearing the still small voice, what a phenomenal experience to read. I read one of his books, I don't know how many years ago, and that was it. I had to sit down. I was so blown away I was just ready for that message. And a lot of folks are ready for that message, and a lot of folks will never hear anything about spirituality. And there's nothing wrong with that. If we accept the fact that we're alive forever, that we reincarnate forever, that we come in to grow, and that's a good reason to never, ever judge a soul. Wherever they are, I think another great secret to the infinite way is everyone where they are is perfect. It fits them. So who are you to say it shouldn't be what they are? It fits them wherever they have come from. You are not a god over them. They are in charge of what they attract and who they feel they are. And that's pretty cool. So that kind of helps us go through life with all kinds of experiences around us, all kinds of folks who have very amazing talents. Talents, intellectual, musical, teaching skills, taking care of, I love working with Prader-Willi syndrome kids. These kids were born with a missing chromosome, and when I was on the Cape, I had a dance group, and oh my God, could they sing and dance? I mean, what a thrill that I fell into that. When I just realized being myself actually, they sort of got me more than a lot of folks because I'm a little crazy, and so are they, and we just had so many laughs and so much fun. They fought over parts. It's just like where you end up, you'll reincarnate this time around. Not only will your body go from childhood to middle age to old age, and it looks like, well, gee, where'd that come from? Or it's in the human scene. We were trained when we came here to have bodies do that. And we do it. And we do it. When we're really invisible, we're absolutely invisible. When my dog was put down, the love of my life, I mean, I thought I'd never get over it. 6 days later, I had to turn over, and out of my back lifted Miranda. And I felt the jet stream go to the ceiling, and I could hardly breathe. Talk about a devotion with a pet, and the message I got, which not only is from Joel, that we're invisible, but my dog let me know she was invisible, and that she had a form. Think about that. We never lose our form. No matter how many changes it goes through, when we exit, we take it with us. We're never going to lose our form. Who knows what it's going to look like? Doesn't matter. We're eternal. We are eternal. We are here forever, and we're here to change. Well, we here on this earth plane, we deal with the word time. We deal with time. It's really unfolding consciousness, and we call it time. We're just cutting through the human scene and every aspect of it. Greed, money, relationships, having stuff. We came in thinking, gee, we got to have stuff. That's what we were trained to believe. Got to have things. Yeah. You look at the earth plane. This is what makes us, happy. Getting things. That is not what it's about. And we learn that because things they don't have any power. I mean, greed, any kind of fear, any kind of material desires, that's powerless. I mean, you got to go for those heavenly riches. Come on, folks. You got to let go of things you think you got to have. And the only way you do that is through meditation. So, meditate you will. Be within you will. And say, look, I have nothing I'm going to ask you for. I've got everything I need because I have the still small voice. I have hunches. I have a path with you, with me. We're joined. We are the Father and the Son together. We've got it all. I'm never, never alone. So I'm listening. What's up, Doc? Where are we going? What can I do to get closer to the grace that's within me, that's my sufficiency in all things? And grace is inner peace. It's that simple. It's comfort. It's knowing you have it all. And it's getting used to that in a plane that doesn't say that. So, discipline. I'm disciplined. I laugh at Boston. The marathon was on Monday, and I laughed that I did it in 4.5 hours in my late 40s. And I think to myself, I do have discipline. I'm working hard on the Joel Goldsmith work. I worked very hard as a teacher. I was a serious dancer in New York when I was 15 on a scholarship. When anything I've ever wanted, I'm driven. And I'm driven right now to help myself, teaching the infinite way, helping myself remember. When we talk to others and we teach, whatever we're here to do, it gives us a life. It wakes us up. Awake, ye that sleepeth. Put down the sword. Awake, ye that sleepeth. Everything is perfect. But that requires getting tired of the human plane, getting tired of everything that falls short of happiness, that doesn't have any power. It's useless. Politics today has so much stuff going on that we can only laugh. Like, don't take it seriously, and whatever you do, just you don't have to listen to it. Listen to some beautiful music, meditate, read gorgeous books about love. And as I mentioned, Acropolis Books is so wonderful if you need any information on the infinite way. I really, really honor that, the fact that we've had, many mystics that haven't asked for any credit for what they've done, and yet they have fed consciousness. We are one whole consciousness. Every soul is one with, that's why I love your neighbor. You are your neighbor, and you're connected to every soul that's out there. You're all one in the Christ mind. You're resurrected right now. Now here's another thing. As Joel was wrapping up his class, he was talking about the tombs that we all walk around in, and I thought, well, there's an interesting thought. All I could envision was this black robe over all of us. We're walking around in these edifices, these bodies that are tombs. And he wants to talk to his class about, go within. Think about the fact that you are only I. You are the mystical I. And look, in the next morning when you look in the mirror, see a resurrected Christ within the tomb of your body, which you will shed. And it'll be another form. You are always going to have a form. And I think Miranda, my dog, gave me that message. And I have a twin, which is even more interesting. I always wonder when I think of Pam, we came in together, we're still here, and thank God I believe in eternal life because, I've lost a lot of family, a lot of sisters, husbands, best friends. We've got to know and remember as we mourn, and it's a very good thing when you've had loss. And frankly, my loss of David, my late husband at 26, gave me the infinite way because I do it in his honor. That was a tough one, having those babies, and I needed something to keep going. And Joel fit that bill. Even though as a kid, my father was a Christian Scientist, my grandparents, practitioners in the 1800s, so a Chatterton had to pick up that baton, and I did. So I have a heritage that makes sense, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I have a chance to sit here with Tim doing a great job doing this program with me, that I can share something to help me feel better, to make me feel whole, complete, and as perfect as I know I am, but I have to keep reminding myself I've got it all. And one of the things I want to end the program with is what Joel said at the end of his show. And let it be, and let it be, and so be it, and so be it. Thank you, my friends. Happy Easter.